Okay, my eager listener, I realized that last time I dropped a bit of a doozy on you. The Candlestick Makers petition was what I consider to be a very fun and light-hearted critique of some of the excesses of interventionist economics. However, I realize that not everyone has the same interpretation of fun, so today, as sort of an apology video, I'm going to read something that is more consistently thought of as fun. Today we're going to read Lean Lisa. It's one of the lesser known of Grimm's fairy tales, and I hope you enjoy it. As was the case with Bastiat's Candlestick Makers petition, this one is in a bit of an old-timey style of language, but I think you'll get the point and really like it. Another quick note, with the Candlestick Makers petition and with any of the content that I put on here that is more serious and fact-based or non-fictional, I'll try and put the words on the screen, but for something like this, I'm probably going to just, I don't know, I might put some illustrations on the screen or something, but I'm not going to put all the words on the screen for the simple reason, first and foremost, that I'm actually reading it out of a physical book and I don't want to go out and find the text, but also sometimes it's more fun to just listen to something than it is to read along. And it's less important that you are able to read along if you want to for a fairy tale than it would be for, say, Frederick Bastiat's The Law or Candlestick Makers petition or something like that. Here we go. Lean Lisa. Lean Lisa was of a very different way of thinking from Lazy Harry or Fat Trina, who never let anything disturb their peace. She scoured everything with ashes from morning till evening and burdened her husband, Long Lawrence, with so much work that, you know what, let's stop here for a second. We have Lean Lisa, we have Lazy Harry, Fat Trina, and Long Lawrence. At the risk of putting a Disney-style disclaimer for content on here, obviously we don't necessarily think of people in these terms as much, but it's this moralizing sort of judgment type stuff. Don't get all worked up about it. Don't get upset if you feel like he shouldn't be called Lazy Harry or she shouldn't be called Fat Trina. I don't know what Long Lawrence is known for. Okay, let's start over. Lean Lisa. Lean Lisa was of a very different way of thinking from Lazy Harry and Fat Trina, who never let anything disturb their peace. She had scoured everything with ashes from morning till evening and burdened her husband, Long Lawrence, with so much work that he had heavier weights to carry than an ass with 3 sacks. It was, however, all to no purpose. They had nothing and came to nothing. One night as she lay in bed and could hardly move one limb for weariness, she still did not allow her thoughts to go to sleep. She thrust her elbows into her husband's side and said, "Listen, Lenz, to what I have been thinking. If I were to find 1 florin and one was given to me, well, I could borrow another to put to them, and you too should give me another. And then as soon as I had got the 4 florins together, I could buy a young cow." This pleased the husband right well. "It is true," he said, "that I do not know where I am to get the florin which you want as a gift from me. But if you can get the money together and can buy a cow with it, you will do very well to carry out your project. I shall be glad," he added, "if the cow was a calf, and then I shall often get a drink of milk to refresh me." "The milk is not for you," said the woman. "We must let the calf suck that it may become big and fat, and we may be able to sell it well." "Certainly," replied the man, "but still we will take a little milk. That will do no harm." "Who has taught you to manage cows?" said the woman. "Whether it does harm or not, I will not allow it, and even if you were to stand on your head for it, you should not have a drop of milk. Do you think, because there is no satisfying you, Long Lawrence, that you are to eat up what I earn with so much difficulty?" "Wife," said the man. If you're sensitive about the way men and women treat each other in marriage, you may want to skip this next part. "Wife," said the man, "be quiet, or I will give you a blow on your mouth." "What?" cried she. "You threaten me, you glutton, you rascal, you Lazy Harry?" She was just laying hold of his hair, but Long Lawrence got up, seized both Lean Lisa's withered arms in one hand, and with the other he pressed down her head into the pillow, let her scold, and held her until she fell asleep for very weariness. Whether she continued to wrangle when she awoke next morning, or whether she went out to look for the florin which she wanted to find, That I know not. Alright, well that was Lean Lisa, and the Grimm's fairy tales were collected, by the Brothers Grimm, who went throughout, Eastern Europe and Europe looking for fairy tales, collecting common fairy tales. And so this is one that would have been passed down throughout antiquity or the Middle Ages. Something to wonder about is why this one stayed. A lot of them stuck around because even if they didn't have a moral per se, they did have some sort of redeeming value or some stereotype or social norm that they reinforced, that they sort of stuck in place and helped people sort of recommit to this idea or teach this idea and pass it down through silly stories. So I would ask you in the comments section, if you want, to let me know what you think the moral or the important cultural value that might have been pressed into here in this story. What do you think is the moral of Lean Lisa and Long Lawrence? Or maybe there isn't a moral, let me know. Also, please share and like this video if you want to. And if you want to subscribe to see when I put more of these up, go right ahead. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye.